Emma Hartley thought she knew her place in the world, invisible, disposable, a cautionary tale whispered about in her small coastal town. She was just another single mother counting tips at the end of each shift, praying they'd cover rent for her and 6-year-old Liam. But when the most powerful man in town publicly defended her against a room full of elite guests, everything changed. Marcus Ellison, heir to a hotel empire worth millions, desired by every eligible woman for 3 counties, had chosen her. What Emma didn't know was that his family would stop at nothing to destroy her, that lies about her past were already spreading like wildfire, and that the woman she thought was her friend had been plotting against her from the very beginning. Some love stories are fairy tales. This one would test whether love could survive when an entire town wanted to tear it apart. If you want to know whether Emma and Marcus's love survived the storm that was coming, subscribe and tell me what city you're watching from. I love connecting with viewers from around the world. The morning sun painted the hotel ballroom in soft gold. Emma Hartley balanced a heavy tray on her shoulder and checked her phone quickly. Mrs. Calhoun had texted, "Liam is fine, drawing you a picture." Emma smiled. 6-year-old Liam was safe with their kind neighbor. That was all that mattered. "Emma, table 12 needs refills," called Cindy from across the room. "And try not to look so tired. These rich folks notice everything." Emma ignored the comment. Cindy Parker always had something to say. Emma smoothed her black uniform and walked to the coffee station. The Ellison Hotel's charity brunch was in full swing. Women in designer dresses picked at fruit while men in expensive suits talked business. Emma didn't belong here. She knew it. They knew it. But she needed this job. She poured fresh coffee into her pot and headed to table 12. Mrs. Granger, a woman with perfectly styled silver hair, was complaining loudly to her friends. "The service here has really gone downhill," Mrs. Granger said as Emma approached. "They'll hire anyone these days." Emma's cheeks burned, but she kept her voice steady. "Good morning. Can I refresh your coffee?" As she poured, a tiny drop splashed onto the white tablecloth. Emma's heart sank. Mrs. Granger's voice cut through the air. "Seriously? Look at this mess." She turned to her friends. "This is what happens when they hire single mothers, too distracted by their poor life choices to do the job right." The nearby tables went quiet. Emma felt every eye in the room on her. Her hands shook as she reached for a napkin. "I'm so sorry. Let me clean that up right away," Emma whispered. "Having a kid so young," Mrs. Granger continued loudly. "No wonder she can't focus. Probably here hunting for her next baby daddy." Laughter rippled from some tables. Emma's face went hot. She dabbed at the tiny stain, wishing she could disappear. "That's enough," a deep voice cut through the laughter. Emma looked up to see a tall black man in a navy suit walking toward their table. His presence commanded attention. The room fell silent. "Excuse me?" Mrs. Granger sputtered. "I said that's enough," Marcus Ellison repeated calmly. He looked directly at Mrs. Granger. "This woman is doing her job professionally. Your behavior is unacceptable." Mrs. Granger's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "Mr. Ellison, I was just—" "You were being cruel," Marcus said firmly. "In my family's hotel." He turned to Emma. His dark eyes were kind but serious. "Would you mind being my server? I'd like to sit at table 6. Emma stared at him. Table 6 was in the center of the room. Everyone would see. "Sir, Table 6 already has a server." "I'm requesting you specifically," Marcus said loud enough for everyone to hear. Emma's legs felt shaky, but she nodded. "Of course." Marcus walked to table 6 and sat down alone. The large table for 8 looked strange with just one man. Emma followed, aware that every person in the room was watching. "Thank you," she whispered as she set down his coffee cup. "For what?" Marcus asked. "You haven't done anything wrong." Emma's throat tightened. Nobody had ever stood up for her like that. Not in public, not in front of important people. "Can I start you with anything?" she asked, trying to keep her voice professional. "How long have you worked here?" Marcus asked instead. "About 2 years," Emma replied carefully. "Do you like it?" Emma glanced around the room. People were still staring. "It pays the bills." Marcus nodded. "That's honest. I appreciate honesty." He ordered eggs Benedict and fresh fruit. As Emma walked to the kitchen, she heard whispers following her. "Who does she think she is?" "He's just being nice, don't read into it." Poor Marcus, he's too polite for his own good. In the kitchen, Cindy cornered her. What was that about? He wanted me to be his server, Emma said, loading food onto her tray. Emma, honey. Cindy's voice was fake sweet. Men like Marcus Ellison don't really notice girls like us. He was just being a gentleman. Don't get ideas. Emma didn't answer. She carried the tray back to table 6. Marcus was on his phone, speaking quietly. No, Mother. I'm at the charity brunch. Yes, everything's fine, as I'll call you later. He hung up and smiled at Emma. Sorry about that. Family business. Emma set down his plate. Is everything okay? Just my mother checking in, Marcus said. She likes to know where I am. That's nice, Emma said. My son calls to check on me, too. Well, not really calls. He's only 6, but he worries. The words slipped out before she could stop them. Emma felt her face burn. Why had she mentioned Liam? But Marcus smiled. 6 is a good age. What's his name? Liam, Emma said softly. Strong name, Marcus said. Is he artistic? Athletic? Both, I think. He loves to draw, and he just started Little League. Baseball? T-ball for now. He's still learning. Marcus nodded seriously. That's how it starts. I played through high school. They talked for a few more minutes. Marcus asked about Liam's favorite subjects and whether he liked school. He didn't ask about Liam's father. He didn't ask personal questions. But he listened like her answers mattered. When Marcus finished eating, he left a tip that made Emma's hands shake. $50, more than she usually made in tips all day. Thank you for the excellent service, Marcus said as he stood. Thank you, Emma whispered. As Marcus left, the whispers started again. Emma cleared his table with burning cheeks. The rest of the brunch passed in a blur of sideways glances and hushed conversations. After work, Emma drove to Mrs. Calhoun's apartment. The elderly woman lived next door and watched Liam when Emma worked weekend shifts. Mama! Liam ran to her with a drawing in his hands. Look what I made! The picture showed a woman with long brown hair holding hands with a small boy. They were standing in front of a house with a big sun in the sky. It's beautiful, baby, Emma said, hugging him tight. How was work? Mrs. Calhoun asked. Emma thought about Marcus Ellison's kind eyes and $50 tip. Different, she said. That night, after Liam was asleep, Emma sat on her tiny apartment's couch and Googled Marcus Ellison. The search results made her stomach flip. Heir to Ellison Hotels, worth millions. Graduated from Harvard Business School, named one of the city's most eligible bachelors. Emma closed her laptop. Cindy was right. Men like Marcus didn't notice girls like her. He was just being polite, but she kept thinking about how he'd asked about Liam, how he'd listened to her answers, how he'd stood up to Mrs. Granger without hesitation. Emma shook her head. She was being silly. Tomorrow everything would go back to normal. The next day, Emma worked at Murphy's Diner downtown. The lunch crowd was smaller than the hotel's fancy events, but the work was steadier. She liked the regular customers and Mr. Reed, her boss, who treated everyone fairly. Emma was refilling coffee when the bell above the door chimed. She looked up and froze. Marcus Ellison walked in wearing jeans and a simple blue button-down shirt. He looked around the small diner like he was trying to find something. Their eyes met. Marcus smiled and walked to the counter. Hi, he said. Hi, Emma managed. Are you lost? Marcus laughed. It was a warm sound. No, I was hoping to get lunch. If you're not too busy. Emma glanced around. The diner was half empty. Of course, sit anywhere you'd like. Marcus chose a booth by the window. Emma grabbed a menu and water glass, her heart beating fast. This is different from the hotel, Marcus said, looking around. Is that bad? Emma asked. No, it's nice. Feels real. Emma didn't know what to say to that. She set down the menu and water. The meatloaf is good today, and the pie is homemade. What kind of pie? Apple and chocolate cream. Which do you recommend? Emma hesitated. The apple. Mrs. Johnson brings it in fresh every morning. Then apple it is, Marcus said, with the meatloaf. As Emma walked to the kitchen, she heard her coworker Jenny whisper, Who's the gorgeous guy in booth 3? Just a customer, Emma said quickly, but she could feel eyes on her as she brought Marcus his food. The other waitresses were definitely watching. This looks great, Marcus said. Can I ask you something? Emma said before she could stop herself. Sure. Why did you come here? Marcus set down his fork. Honest answer? Emma nodded. I wanted to see you again, away from all the fancy stuff and watching eyes. Emma's chest tightened. Mr. Ellison, Marcus, please. Marcus, I don't understand what you want. I want to know if you'd like to have coffee sometime, Marcus said simply. Just coffee, no pressure. Emma stared at him. This couldn't be real. Men like Marcus didn't ask out single mothers who worked 2 jobs and lived in tiny apartments. I have a son, Emma said. I know. You mentioned him yesterday. And I work a lot, and I don't really date. When's the last time you had coffee with someone, just because you wanted to? Emma couldn't remember. After Liam's father left, she'd been too busy surviving to think about dating, too scared to trust anyone new. I can't, Emma whispered. Marcus nodded slowly. Okay. I understand. He ate the rest of his lunch quietly. When he left, he didn't push. He just said thank you and told her to have a good day. Emma felt empty watching him go. 2 days later, Emma was at the grocery store with Liam when she heard her name. Emma? She turned to see Marcus walking toward them with a shopping basket. He wore khakis and a polo shirt. He looked younger somehow, less formal. Hi, Emma said, suddenly aware that she was in old jeans and a faded t-shirt. Liam hid behind her legs. Hi, Marcus said. He knelt down to Liam's height. You must be Liam. Liam peeked out but didn't say anything. I'm Marcus, he said gently. Your mom told me you like to draw. Liam nodded shyly. What do you like to draw? Superheroes, Liam whispered. That's cool. Who's your favorite superhero? Spider-Man. Good choice. He's brave and helps people. Liam came out from behind Emma's legs a little. Do you like superheroes? I do. When I was your age, I wanted to be Batman. Batman doesn't have powers. No, but he's smart and works hard. Sometimes that's better than having powers. Emma watched the exchange with a tight throat. Liam hadn't talked to a man this easily since his father left 2 years ago. We should go, Emma said suddenly. Come on, Liam. Wait, Marcus said, standing up. I know you said no to coffee, but what if we took Liam to the park, all 3 of us, Saturday afternoon? Emma's first instinct was to say no, but Liam was looking up at Marcus with curious eyes. He hadn't shown interest in any adult man since his father's abandonment. Please, Mama, Liam said quietly. Emma felt trapped between protecting her son and seeing him come alive with excitement. Just the park? She asked. Just the park, Marcus confirmed. I'll bring a football, if that's okay. Liam's eyes went wide. Really? Emma looked at her son's hopeful face and felt her walls crack. Okay, but just for an hour. Yes, Liam bounced on his toes. Marcus smiled. Saturday at 2, Miller Park? We'll be there, Emma said before she could change her mind. That night, after Liam was asleep, Emma sat on her couch, wondering what she'd gotten herself into. Rich men didn't date poor single mothers. This had to be some kind of mistake. But she kept thinking about how Marcus had knelt down to talk to Liam, how patient he'd been with her son's shyness. Maybe one afternoon at the park wouldn't hurt. Saturday afternoon came too quickly. Emma changed clothes 3 times before settling on jeans and a light sweater. Nothing too fancy, but clean and neat. Liam had been excited all morning. Is Marcus really coming? He asked for the 10th time. Yes, baby, he'll be there. They arrived at Miller Park at exactly 2 o'clock. Marcus was already there, sitting on a bench with a football in his hands. He stood when he saw them. Hi, he said to Emma. Hi. He turned to Liam. Ready to throw some passes? Liam nodded eagerly. They walked to an open area of grass. Marcus showed Liam how to hold the football and how to throw it properly. Like this? Liam asked, copying Marcus's stance. Perfect. Now throw it to me. Liam tossed the ball. It wobbled through the air and fell short, but Marcus dove dramatically to catch it, rolling on the ground. Liam giggled. Actually, giggled. Emma felt tears sting her eyes. She couldn't remember the last time Liam had laughed like that. They played catch for 20 minutes. Marcus praised every throw, even the wild ones. He made funny comments when he missed catches. He treated Liam like he mattered. Your turn, Mom, Liam called. Oh, I don't really, Emma started. Come on, Marcus said. Just one throw. Emma walked over reluctantly. Marcus handed her the football. It's heavier than it looks, she said. Just throw it like a baseball, Marcus suggested. Emma tossed the ball. It spiraled perfectly to Liam, who caught it against his chest. Mom, you're good, Liam said, amazed. I played softball in high school, Emma admitted. See, natural athlete, Marcus said. Liam gets it honest. They played until Liam got tired. Then they sat on the bench and shared a bag of crackers Emma had brought. This was fun, Liam said, leaning against Emma. It was, Marcus agreed. He looked at Emma. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing the football. As they walked back to the parking lot, Liam took Marcus's hand without being asked. Emma's heart did something complicated. Can we do this again? Liam asked Marcus. If your mom says it's okay, Marcus said, looking at Emma. Emma saw the hope in her son's eyes, the happiness. For the first time in 2 years, Liam seemed like a normal little boy instead of a worried, wary child. We'll see, Emma said softly. But she was already thinking about next Saturday. Monday morning at the diner, Emma couldn't stop thinking about the park, about Marcus's gentle patience with Liam, about how natural it had felt, the three of them together. You're smiling more today, Jenny observed as they set up for lunch. Am I? Definitely. Good weekend? Before Emma could answer, the bell chimed. Marcus walked in and Emma's stomach flipped. Your boyfriend's here, Jenny whispered with a grin. He's not my boyfriend, Emma said quickly, but she smoothed her apron and walked to greet him. Hi. Hi. Is this a bad time? No, it's fine. Lunch rush hasn't started yet. Marcus sat at the same booth as before. Emma brought him water and a menu, hyper-aware of Jenny watching from behind the counter. How's Liam? Marcus asked. Good. He's been talking about Saturday all weekend. Marcus smiled. I had fun too. It's been a while since I threw a football around. You were really good with him, Emma said. He's a great kid. You should be proud. Emma felt warm all over. I am. Emma, Marcus said carefully. Would you like to have dinner sometime? Just the two of us? Emma's automatic no died on her lips. She thought about Liam's laughter, about how Marcus had made both of them feel normal and valued. I don't really have a babysitter, she said instead. What about Mrs. Calhoun? Liam mentioned her on Saturday. Emma blinked. You were listening. I always listen. The simple statement hit Emma like a punch. When was the last time someone had really listened to what she said, noticed the small details of her life? I could ask her, Emma heard herself say. Marcus's smile was soft and genuine. Friday night? Somewhere quiet where we can actually talk? Okay, Emma whispered. Yes. As Marcus left after lunch, Emma felt like she was standing on the edge of a cliff, scared but also strangely excited. Maybe it was time to be brave. That night she called Mrs. Calhoun about Friday. The older woman was delighted to watch Liam. About time you had some fun, dear, she said. Emma hung up the phone with shaky hands. She had a date, her first real date in over 3 years. What was she thinking? But even as her mind filled with worries, she felt something she hadn't experienced in a long time. Hope. Friday evening arrived faster than Emma expected. She stood in front of her tiny bathroom mirror, trying to decide between her 2 nice dresses. The blue one was newer but simple. The black one was older but more elegant. Mama, you look pretty, Liam said from the doorway. Emma smiled at his reflection. Thank you, baby. Are you going on a date? Emma's hands stilled on the blue dress. She'd tried to explain without making it sound too important. I'm having dinner with Marcus. Remember him from the park? I like Marcus, Liam said seriously. He's nice to you. Emma's chest tightened. Even at 6, Liam noticed how people treated his mother. He'd seen too many people dismiss her, ignore her, or speak to her like she didn't matter. Mrs. Calhoun will be here soon, Emma said, choosing the blue dress. Be good for her, okay? I will. Have fun, Mama. 20 minutes later, Emma sat in Marcus's car, nervous energy making her fidget with her purse strap. The car was nice, but not flashy, clean and comfortable. You look beautiful, Marcus said as they drove. Thank you. This is really nice. Emma gestured around the car's interior. It gets me from point A to point B, Marcus said with a smile. I'm not much for showing off. They drove to a small Italian restaurant on the outskirts of town. It was cozy and warm, with soft lighting and the smell of garlic bread. Not too fancy, but nicer than anywhere Emma usually went. I hope this is okay, Marcus said as they were seated. I wanted somewhere we could actually hear each other talk. It's perfect, Emma said honestly. The waiter brought the menus and water. Emma scanned the prices and felt her stomach tighten. Everything was expensive, not crazy expensive, but more than she'd ever spent on a single meal. Order whatever looks good, Marcus said gently, like he could read her thoughts. I'm not very fancy, Emma admitted. I usually cook at home. What do you like to cook? Simple stuff. Spaghetti, grilled cheese, pancakes, Liam's favorites. Those are good favorites. I lived on takeout and frozen dinners before I moved back home. You live with your family? Marcus shook his head. I have my own place, but I moved back to town 2 years ago to help with the family business. Before that, I was in Boston. Do you miss it? Boston? Sometimes. It was exciting, but also lonely. This feels more like home. They ordered dinner. Emma chose chicken parmesan, and Marcus got lasagna. As they waited for their food, they talked easily. Marcus asked about Liam's school, Emma's work at the diner, her favorite books. He shared stories about college, his travels, his complicated relationship with the hotel business. I always thought I'd do something else, Marcus admitted. Maybe teach or coach sports, but family businesses have a way of pulling you in. Do you regret it? Marcus considered this. Not regret exactly, but sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd been braver about choosing my own path. Emma understood that feeling. She'd wanted to go to college, maybe become a teacher, but life had other plans. Their food arrived, and it was delicious. Emma tried to eat slowly, to savor it, but she was genuinely hungry. She worked long hours and didn't always eat proper meals. This is amazing, she said. You sound surprised. I don't eat out much. When I do, it's usually fast food with Liam. When's the last time you did something just for yourself? Marcus asked. Emma thought about it. I honestly can't remember. That's not good, Emma. It's just how it is when you're a single parent, Emma said defensively. I know, but you matter too. Not just as Liam's mother. You matter as Emma. Emma felt tears prick her eyes. She looked down at her plate, embarrassed by her reaction. I'm sorry, Marcus said quietly. I didn't mean to upset you. You didn't. It's just, nobody says things like that to me. Then they're idiots, Emma laughed despite her tears. You don't know me very well yet. I know enough, Marcus said firmly. I know you work hard, love your son, and deserve to be treated with respect. I know you're stronger than you think and kinder than this town deserves. Emma met his eyes across the table. The sincerity there made her chest ache. Why me? She whispered. You could date anyone, rich women, educated women, women without baggage. Because those women aren't you, Marcus said simply, and I'm interested in you. They finished dinner and drove slowly back toward Emma's apartment. At a red light, Marcus reached over and took her hand. His was warm and strong. Thank you for tonight, he said. Thank you for asking me. Can I ask you again? Another time? Emma squeezed his hand. Yes. When they reached her building, Marcus walked her to the door. Emma expected him to kiss her, but he just touched her cheek gently. Good night, Emma. Good night. Emma watched him drive away before going upstairs. Mrs. Calhoun met her at the door with a knowing smile. How was dinner, dear? Good, Emma said, still feeling the warmth of Marcus's touch on her cheek. Really good. The next morning, Emma woke up thinking about Marcus's words. You matter as Emma. She couldn't remember anyone ever saying that to her. Not her ex-boyfriend, not her parents, not anyone. Liam bounced into her bedroom at 7 a.m., wide awake and ready for Saturday cartoons. Did you have fun last night? He asked, climbing into bed with her. I did. Is Marcus your boyfriend now? Emma pulled Liam close. It's complicated, baby. We're friends who might become more than friends. I hope you do, Liam said seriously. He makes you smile real smiles. Emma's heart squeezed. What do you mean? Sometimes you smile, but your eyes are sad. When Marcus is here, you smile with your eyes too. Out of the mouths of babes. That afternoon, Emma's phone rang while she was doing laundry. Marcus's name appeared on the screen, and her stomach fluttered. Hi, she answered. Hi, are you busy? Just chores, what's up? I was wondering if you and Liam would like to come to my cousin's barbecue tomorrow. It's just family, very casual, but I'd like them to meet you. Emma's stomach dropped. Meeting his family felt huge and scary. I don't know, she said carefully. My cousin Daniel is great, and there will be kids there for Liam to play with. Marcus, your family is... they're important people. I'm just a waitress. You're not just anything, Marcus said firmly. You're Emma, and if they can't see how amazing you are, that's their problem. Emma wanted to believe him, but she'd learned not to trust that kind of optimism. What would I wear? What would I say? I don't know how to talk to rich people. You talk to me just fine. That's different. How? Emma couldn't explain it. With Marcus, she felt like herself. The idea of being judged by his family terrified her. Please, Marcus said softly, just for a couple of hours. If you're uncomfortable, we'll leave. Emma closed her eyes. Liam deserved to see her take chances, be brave, try new things. Okay, she whispered, but if it's weird, we're leaving. Deal. Sunday afternoon, Emma stood in front of her closet again. Everything she owned seemed wrong for a family barbecue with the Ellisons. Too casual, too formal, too old, too cheap. She finally settled on dark jeans, a white blouse, and her one pair of nice sandals. Liam wore khaki shorts and a polo shirt Emma had bought on sale. We look good, Mama, Liam said, checking himself in the mirror. We do, Emma agreed, trying to feel confident. Marcus picked them up at 2 o'clock. He looked relaxed in jeans and a button-down shirt. Ready? He asked. As ready as we'll ever be, Emma said. The drive to Daniel's house took 15 minutes. The house was beautiful, but not overwhelming. Big, but warm, with a wraparound porch and a huge backyard. There's Marcus, a woman's voice called out as they approached the backyard. Emma's first impression was of warmth and noise. Kids running around, adults laughing, music playing from speakers. It felt like a real family gathering. Daniel Ellison was tall like Marcus with an easy smile and a firm handshake. You must be Emma. Marcus talks about you constantly. Emma felt her cheeks heat. Nice to meet you. And this is Liam, Daniel said, kneeling down. I hear you're an artist. Liam nodded shyly. My daughter Maya loves to draw too. She's 8. Want to see her art supplies? Liam looked at Emma for permission. She nodded, and he followed Daniel toward a group of kids. He'll be fine, Marcus said quietly, taking Emma's hand. Daniel's great with kids. They walked around the yard, Marcus introducing Emma to various cousins, friends, and family members. Everyone was polite, but Emma felt their curious glances. She was clearly different from the other women there. Emma, this is my Aunt Carol, Marcus said. Carol Ellison was an elegant woman in her 50s with kind eyes and perfect posture. It's lovely to meet you, dear. Marcus has mentioned you several times. All good things, I hope, Emma said, trying to sound confident. Very good things. He seems quite taken with you. Emma glanced at Marcus, who was watching her with soft eyes. He's pretty great himself. Yes, he is, though I may be biased, Carol smiled. Would you like something to drink? We have sweet tea, lemonade, beer. Sweet tea sounds perfect. As they walked toward the drink table, Carol said casually, Marcus tells me you have a son. Yes, Liam. He's 6. What a lovely age. Is his father involved? Emma's step faltered. The question was polite but pointed. No, he's not. Carol nodded thoughtfully. That must be difficult. We manage, Emma said, her voice a little defensive. I'm sure you do beautifully. Single mothers are some of the strongest people I know. Emma looked at Carol in surprise. She'd expected judgment, not understanding. Thank you, Emma said softly. They found Liam at a kid's table, drawing with Maya and 2 other children. He looked happy and relaxed. He's fitting in well, Carol observed. He doesn't get to play with other kids much, Emma admitted. We live in an apartment building with mostly older people. Bring him by any time. Maya would love a new friend. Emma felt tears threaten. These people were being so kind. She wasn't used to kindness without strings attached. The afternoon passed quickly. Emma helped serve food, played games with the kids, and found herself laughing more than she had in months. Marcus stayed close, but didn't hover. He let her find her own way. As the sun started to set, Marcus found Emma sitting on the porch steps watching Liam play tag with the other children. How are you doing? He asked, sitting beside her. Good. Better than I expected. My family likes you. They're being polite. Emma, Marcus turned to face her. They like you. Carol asked if you'd be coming to her birthday party next month. Daniel wants to know if Liam plays soccer. They're not just being polite. Emma watched Liam run across the yard, his face bright with joy. He's having so much fun. So are you. Emma realized he was right. She had been having fun. Real, genuine fun. Thank you for bringing us, she said. Thank you for coming. On the drive home, Liam chattered excitedly about Maya and the games they'd played. Emma listened with a full heart. Can we see them again? Liam asked as they pulled up to their building. I'm sure we will, Marcus said, looking at Emma. That night, after Liam was asleep, Emma sat on her couch thinking about the day. For a few hours, she'd felt like she belonged somewhere, like she and Liam were part of something bigger than their small, careful life. It was wonderful and terrifying. Monday at the diner was busier than usual. Emma was rushed off her feet until mid-afternoon. During her break, she checked her phone and found a text from Marcus. Hope you had a good day, thinking about you. Emma smiled and typed back, long day but good. Thank you again for yesterday. My pleasure. Dinner Wednesday? Emma hesitated. Things were moving fast, but they also felt right in a way that scared her. Yes, she was putting her phone away when Cindy appeared beside her. Was that your rich boyfriend? Cindy asked with fake sweetness. He's not my boyfriend, Emma said automatically. Good, because people are starting to talk. Emma's stomach clenched. What do you mean? Just that some folks are wondering what a man like Marcus Ellison really wants with a girl like you. No offense. What's that supposed to mean? Cindy shrugged. Rich men sometimes have hobbies? Poor girls who are grateful for attention. Emma's face went hot. That's not what this is. I'm sure it's not. I'm just saying what people are saying. Cindy walked away, leaving Emma feeling sick. Was that what people thought? That she was some kind of charity case or conquest? That evening, Marcus called while Emma was helping Liam with homework. Hi, she answered, but her voice was flat. Hey, you sound tired. Long day. Want to talk about it? Emma wanted to ask if people were talking about them, if he'd heard rumors or speculation, but she was afraid of the answer. Emma, are you okay? I'm fine. Just tired. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Did something happen today? Emma closed her eyes. She could tell him about Cindy's comments. But what if it made him realize this was all a mistake? No, nothing happened. Okay. Well, I'll let you get Liam to bed. But Emma, if something is bothering you, I hope you'll talk to me. I will. But even as she said it, Emma wasn't sure that was true. Wednesday's dinner was at a small cafe downtown. Emma tried to act normal, but Marcus noticed her distraction. You're quiet tonight, he said over their shared dessert. Just thinking. About what? Emma pushed chocolate cake around her plate. Do people talk about us? Marcus set down his fork. What kind of people? What kind of talk? People around town, about you dating, someone like me. Someone like you? Emma felt her cheeks burn. You know, a single mother, a waitress, someone with no money or education or... Stop, Marcus said firmly. Don't do that to yourself. But do they? Talk about us? Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Some people always have something to say. It doesn't matter what you do or who you are. There will always be gossip. That's not an answer. Yes, Marcus said quietly. Some people are talking, wondering what I see in you, saying you're probably after my money. Emma's heart sank. She'd known it, but hearing it confirmed still hurt. And you know what I tell them? Marcus continued. Emma shook her head. Nothing. Because their opinions don't matter to me. What matters is what we know, what we feel when we're together. But what if they're right? Emma whispered. What if this is all a mistake? Marcus reached across the table and took her hands. Look at me. Emma met his eyes reluctantly. Do you care about my money? No. Do you care about my family name or social status? No. What do you care about? Emma thought about it honestly. I care about how you make me feel, how you treat Liam, how you listen when I talk, how safe I feel with you. Then that's all that matters, Marcus said firmly. Everything else is just noise. Emma wanted to believe him, but she'd lived with judgment and whispers her whole adult life. It was hard to just ignore them now. I don't want to make things difficult for you, she said. You don't. You make things better. They drove home quietly. At Emma's door, Marcus cupped her face in his hands. Don't let other people's fears become your fears, he said softly. Don't let their smallness make you feel small. Then he kissed her, gentle and warm and full of promise. Emma melted against him, feeling safe and cherished and brave. Maybe Marcus was right. Maybe their happiness was worth more than other people's opinions. As she watched him drive away, Emma made a decision. She was going to try to be brave, for herself, for Liam, and for whatever this beautiful thing was that was growing between them. She deserved happiness, and for the first time in years, she was starting to believe she might actually get it. 2 weeks later, Emma felt like she was living in a dream. Marcus had become a steady part of her and Liam's routine. Pizza dinners on Friday nights, park visits on Saturday afternoons, Sunday morning pancakes at her tiny kitchen table. Liam had blossomed under Marcus's attention. He talked more, laughed easier, and had started calling Marcus by name instead of hiding behind Emma's legs. "Marcus, watch this," Liam called from the monkey bars at Miller Park. It was another Saturday afternoon, and the three of them had fallen into their comfortable rhythm. "I'm watching," Marcus called back. He turned to Emma with a smile. "He's getting so confident." "He is," Emma agreed, watching her son swing from bar to bar. "Thank you for that." "For what?" "For making him feel like he matters, like he's worth your time." Marcus took her hand. "He is worth my time. You both are." Emma squeezed his fingers. 3 weeks ago, she couldn't have imagined this happiness. Now she woke up every morning grateful for it. But happiness, Emma had learned, could be fragile. Monday morning at the hotel, Emma was setting up for a business luncheon when she overheard 2 women talking near the coffee station. "I heard she has him wrapped around her finger," one woman said in a low voice. "Well, single mothers know how to play the sympathy card," the other replied, "especially with rich men who want to feel like heroes." Emma's hands stilled on the napkins she was folding. Were they talking about her? "Patricia Ellison must be beside herself," the first woman continued. "Imagine your son throwing away everything for a waitress with baggage." Emma's face burned. They were definitely talking about her. "I bet she's pregnant already. That's usually how these girls lock them down." Emma felt sick. She grabbed her tray and hurried to the kitchen, her heart pounding. "You okay, honey?" asked Maria, one of the older kitchen staff. "You look pale." "I'm fine," Emma lied. But she wasn't fine. The whispers were getting louder, more specific, more cruel. And now Marcus's mother was being talked about too. Emma had never met Patricia Ellison. Marcus had mentioned his mother a few times, always with love, but also with a hint of caution. "She means well," he'd said, "but she has strong opinions about everything." Now Emma wondered what those opinions were about her. That afternoon at the diner, Emma's worry grew when she saw Cindy whispering with 2 other women at a corner table. When Emma walked by, their conversation stopped. "Emma," Cindy called sweetly, "we were just talking about you." Emma's stomach dropped. "Oh? About how exciting it must be, dating Marcus Ellison. You must feel like Cinderella." The other women smiled, but their eyes were cold. "It's not like that," Emma said quietly. "Of course not," one of the women said. "I'm sure he sees past all the circumstances." "What circumstances?" Emma asked, even though she didn't want to know. "Oh, honey," Cindy said with fake sympathy. "The whole thing with Liam's father, how he left when you were pregnant. It's just so sad." Emma felt her world tilt. "How do you know about that?" "Small town," Cindy shrugged. "People remember things, like how you had to move back in with your parents because you couldn't afford rent, and how your own family barely talks to you now." Emma's throat closed up. She'd worked so hard to build a new life, to move past those painful memories, but apparently nothing was forgotten in this town. "Anyway," Cindy continued brightly, "I'm sure Marcus knows all about your past. Rich men like projects, don't they?" Emma walked away without answering. In the bathroom, she splashed cold water on her face and tried to breathe. Was that what Marcus saw her as? A project? A charity case? That evening, Marcus came over for dinner as usual. Liam ran to greet him with a drawing of the 3 of them at the park. "This is amazing, buddy," Marcus said, studying the picture carefully. You put so much detail in it. That's you throwing the football, Liam explained, pointing to a tall figure. And that's Mama catching it, and that's me cheering. I love it. Can I keep it? Liam nodded eagerly. Mama, can we show Marcus my other drawings? After dinner, Emma said, forcing a smile. But as they ate spaghetti and meatballs at her small table, Emma couldn't shake the conversations from earlier. Every time Marcus smiled at her, she wondered if he was thinking about her circumstances. Every kind word made her question his motives. You're quiet tonight, Marcus observed after Liam went to watch TV. Just tired, Marcus studied her face. Emma, what's wrong? Emma wanted to tell him, but she was afraid of what his answer might be. Do you ever regret this? She asked instead. Regret what? Dating me, getting involved with someone who comes with so much baggage. Marcus set down his fork. Where is this coming from? People talk, Marcus, about you slumming it with the poor single mother, about how I'm probably using you. And you believe them? I don't know what to believe anymore, Emma said honestly. This all feels too good to be real. Men like you don't date women like me unless there's something wrong with them or something in it for them. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was gentle but firm. Emma, look at me. She met his eyes reluctantly. There's nothing wrong with me. And the only thing I get from being with you is happiness, real, honest happiness. But your family will learn to love you like I do. The words hung in the air between them. Emma's heart stopped. Like you do? She whispered. Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. I'm falling in love with you, Emma, with your strength, your kindness, the way you love Liam, with your laugh and your stubbornness and the way you make everything better just by being there. Emma felt tears spill down her cheeks. Marcus, I know it's fast. I know we haven't said it before. But it's true. Emma wanted to say it back. The words were right there. But fear held her tongue. What if this was all a mistake? What if his family convinced him he deserved better? What if the gossip became too much? I care about you too, she whispered. It was true, but not nearly enough. Marcus's face fell slightly, but he squeezed her hand. That's okay. I'm not going anywhere. But even as he said it, Emma wondered if that was really true. The next morning, everything changed. Emma was at the hotel setting up for a charity luncheon when Patricia Ellison walked into the ballroom. Emma recognized her immediately from photos Marcus had shown her, tall, elegant, with perfectly styled hair and expensive clothes. Patricia surveyed the room with sharp eyes before they landed on Emma. She walked over with purposeful steps. You must be Emma Hartley, Patricia said, her voice cool but polite. Yes, ma'am, Emma replied, her heart racing. I'm Patricia Ellison, Marcus's mother. It's nice to meet you. Patricia looked Emma up and down, taking in her simple uniform and worn shoes. I was hoping we could have a word, privately. Emma glanced around the ballroom. Other staff members were watching curiously. I'm working right now, Emma said. This will only take a moment. It wasn't really a request. Patricia walked toward a quiet corner, clearly expecting Emma to follow. Emma's hands shook as she set down her tray and walked over. I'll get straight to the point, Patricia said quietly. My son is infatuated with you. I care. About Marcus, too, Emma said. I'm sure you do. He's wealthy, successful, and kind. What woman wouldn't care about him? Emma's cheeks burned. It's not like that. Isn't it? Patricia's voice was calm but cutting. You're a single mother working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Marcus is heir to a hotel empire. You can't tell me the financial security doesn't appeal to you. I've never asked Marcus for anything, Emma said, her voice shaking. Not yet. But what happens when you need rent money? When your son needs school supplies or medical care? What happens when Marcus's generosity becomes a habit? Emma felt sick. Because Patricia wasn't entirely wrong. Emma did worry about money constantly. She did struggle to give Liam everything he needed. Marcus thinks he's in love, Patricia continued, but he's always been drawn to lost causes, stray animals, struggling students, broken things he thinks he can fix. The words hit Emma like physical blows. I'm not a broken thing, Emma whispered. Aren't you? Patricia's voice was almost kind now, which made it worse. A teenage pregnancy, an absent father, family that barely speaks to you. You've had a hard life, dear, but that doesn't make you the right match for my son. Emma couldn't breathe. Every insecurity she'd ever had was being laid bare by this elegant woman. "What do you want from me?" Emma asked. "I want you to think about what's best for everyone, including your son. How long before the whispers and judgment affect him? How long before Marcus realizes that love isn't enough to bridge the gap between your worlds?" Patricia reached into her purse and pulled out a business card. "When you're ready to be realistic about this situation, call me." She walked away, leaving Emma standing alone in the corner, shaking. Emma made it through the rest of her shift on autopilot. She smiled when she was supposed to, answered questions politely, and tried to ignore the knowing looks from her coworkers. At the diner that afternoon, she could barely focus. Orders got mixed up, coffee got spilled, and Mr. Reed finally sent her home early. "You feeling sick?" he asked kindly. "Something like that," Emma replied. At home, Emma sat on her couch and stared at Patricia's business card. The words echoed in her head. Lost causes. Broken things he thinks he can fix. Was that what she was to Marcus? A project that made him feel good about himself? When Liam came home from school, Emma tried to act normal, but he noticed immediately. "Mama, why are you sad?" "I'm not sad, baby. Just thinking." "About Marcus?" Emma's heart clenched. "Why would you think that?" "Because you get that worried face when you think about grown-up stuff, and Marcus is grown-up stuff." Emma pulled Liam onto the couch beside her. "Do you like Marcus?" "Yeah, he's nice, and he makes you happy." "What if he wasn't around anymore? Would that be okay?" Liam's face scrunched up in concern. "Is he going away?" I don't know, baby. Maybe. Did I do something wrong?" "No." Emma hugged him tightly. "You didn't do anything wrong. You're perfect." But as she held her son, Emma couldn't stop thinking about Patricia's words. How long before the whispers affected Liam? How long before he started asking questions about why people looked at his mother differently when Marcus was around? That evening, Marcus called as usual. "Hey, beautiful, how was your day?" Emma closed her eyes. His voice was so warm, so genuinely happy to talk to her, it made what she had to do even harder. "It was fine," she lied. "Want me to come over? I could pick up Chinese food." "Actually, I'm pretty tired tonight. Rain check?" Marcus was quiet for a moment. "Emma, is everything okay? You sound strange." "I'm fine, just need some sleep." "Okay, I love you." The words hung in the air. Emma's throat closed up. "I'll talk to you tomorrow," she managed. She hung up without saying it back. For the next 3 days, Emma avoided Marcus's calls and texts. She made excuses about being busy at work, Liam being sick, errands to run. Each lie made her feel worse, but she didn't know what else to do. Patricia's words had planted seeds of doubt that grew bigger every day. What if Marcus did see her as a charity case? What if he got tired of dealing with her complicated life? What if the pressure from his family became too much? On Thursday evening, Marcus showed up at her apartment. Emma opened the door to find him standing there with worry written all over his face. "We need to talk," he said quietly. Emma's heart sank. This was it. He'd realized Patricia was right. "Okay," she whispered, stepping aside to let him in. Liam was at Mrs. Calhoun's for the evening, so they were alone. Marcus sat on the couch and gestured for Emma to join him. "What's going on?" he asked gently. "And don't say nothing. You've been avoiding me for days." Emma stared at her hands. "I met your mother." Marcus went very still. "When?" "Tuesday, at the hotel. She wanted to talk to me." "What did she say?" Emma told him everything. About being called a lost cause and a broken thing Marcus wanted to fix. About the warnings about their different worlds. About Patricia's business card, which still sat on Emma's kitchen counter. Marcus listened without interrupting, his jaw getting tighter with each word. When Emma finished, the silence stretched between them. "I'm sorry," Marcus said finally. "My mother had no right to ambush you at work, no right to say those things." "But what if she's right?" Emma whispered. "She's not." "How do you know? What if you do see me as some kind of project? What if this is just you trying to feel good about yourself? Marcus turned to face her fully. Emma, look at me. She met his eyes reluctantly. I have never in my life felt about anyone the way I feel about you. Not because I want to fix you, but because you don't need fixing. You're already perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm a mess with baggage and problems, and you're a woman who's survived things that would break other people, who's raised an amazing son on her own, who works 2 jobs and still has energy left to be kind to everyone around her. That's not broken, Emma. That's incredible. Emma felt tears spill down her cheeks. But what about your family? Your mother made it clear she doesn't approve. My mother will learn to accept it. And if she doesn't, that's her problem, not ours. Marcus, you can't choose me over your family. Watch me. The certainty in his voice scared Emma almost as much as it thrilled her. This is all moving too fast, she said. We've only been dating a few weeks. We don't really know each other. I know everything I need to know. But I don't. Emma stood up, pacing to the window. I don't know how to be with someone like you. I don't know how to handle the gossip and the judgment and the pressure. I don't know how to protect Liam from all of this. Marcus stood too, moving toward her slowly. So we figure it out together. What if we can't? What if your mother is right and love isn't enough? Then we'll deal with that too. But Emma, if you push me away now because of what other people think, you'll never know what we could have been. Emma turned to face him. He was standing close enough to touch, his dark eyes full of love and determination. I'm scared, she whispered. I'm scared too, but I'm more scared of losing you. Marcus reached up and cupped her face gently. Don't let my mother's fears become your fears. Don't let her convince you that you're not worthy of love. But what if? Marcus silenced her with a kiss, gentle at first, then deeper as Emma melted against him. When they broke apart, both were breathing hard. I love you, Marcus said against her forehead. All of you. The strength and the vulnerability, the independence and the need, the way you love Liam, and the way you're learning to let me love you both. Emma closed her eyes. I love you too. The words slipped out before she could stop them, but once they were said, she felt a weight lift from her chest. I love you too, she repeated, stronger this time. I'm terrified and confused and completely out of my depth, but I love you. Marcus smiled, the first real smile she'd seen from him all week. That's all I need to know. They held each other in the quiet of Emma's small living room, both knowing that loving each other was the easy part. Everything that came next would be much harder, but for tonight, love felt like enough. The next day, Marcus called his mother. We need to talk, he said without preamble when Patricia answered. Hello to you too, darling. Mom, I'm serious. What you said to Emma was unacceptable. Patricia sighed. I said what needed to be said. Someone had to be realistic about this situation. The only situation here is that I'm in love with a wonderful woman, and my mother ambushed her at work with insults and accusations. Marcus, be practical. This girl comes from nothing. She has a child and no education and... Stop. Marcus's voice was steel. Don't talk about Emma that way, and don't talk about Liam that way either. I'm trying to protect you. From what? From being happy? From finding someone who loves me for who I am, not what I have? Patricia was quiet for a moment. She could hurt you, take advantage of your generosity. She's never asked me for anything, not once. She pays for her own meals, insists on splitting costs, won't even let me buy Liam a toy without a fight. Yet, Mom, Marcus rubbed his forehead. I understand you're worried, but Emma isn't going anywhere. I'm going to marry her someday. The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. Marcus, I'm going to marry her, he repeated firmly, and I hope you'll be there to celebrate with us. But if you can't accept her, then you won't be part of our lives. You can't mean that. Try me. Marcus hung up the phone, his heart racing. He'd never challenged his mother so directly, but Emma and Liam were worth fighting for, even if it meant fighting his own family. That evening, Marcus drove to Emma's apartment with Thai food and flowers. When she opened the door, her eyes were red like she'd been crying. Hey, he said softly. Bad day? I quit the hotel, Emma said quietly. Marcus set down the food and flowers. Why? I can't work there anymore. Not after everyone knows about your mother talking to me. They're all looking at me like I'm some kind of gold digger who got put in her place. Marcus pulled Emma into his arms. I'm sorry. This is my fault. It's not your fault your mother thinks I'm trash. You're not trash, and I told her so. Emma pulled back to look at him. You talked to her? I told her that I love you, and that if she can't accept you, she won't be part of our lives. Emma's eyes went wide. Marcus, you can't cut off your family from me. I can, and I will if I have to. But, Emma, Marcus took her hands. You and Liam are my family now too, and I protect my family. Emma started crying again, but this time the tears looked different, relieved instead of scared. I love you, she whispered. I love you too. And we're going to be okay, I promise. As they held each other in the doorway, both of them knew the hard part was just beginning, but they also knew they were in it together. And sometimes, that was enough to be brave. 3 weeks after Emma quit the hotel, she was working full-time at Murphy's Diner. Mr. Reed had been understanding about her need for more hours, and the regular customers treated her with the same kindness they always had. But the financial stress was real. Without the hotel job, money was tighter than ever. Emma lay awake at night doing math in her head, trying to figure out how to make everything work. Marcus had offered to help, of course. But Emma couldn't bring herself to accept money from him. It would prove Patricia right about her motives. You're being stubborn, Marcus said one evening as they walked hand in hand through downtown. Liam ran ahead of them, chasing pigeons. I'm being independent, Emma corrected. There's a difference between independence and pride, Emma. Is there? Because your mother seems to think any woman who would accept help from you is automatically a gold digger. Marcus stopped walking. My mother's opinion doesn't matter. But it does, Emma said softly. She's your family, and part of me wonders if she's right. What kind of girlfriend lets her boyfriend pay her bills? The kind who's going through a rough patch and has someone who loves her enough to help. Emma wanted to believe it was that simple, but nothing in her life had ever been simple. They were interrupted by Liam running back to them, his face bright with excitement. There's a street fair next weekend, he announced. Can we go, please? Emma's heart sank. Street fairs meant food trucks and games and rides, all things that cost money she didn't have. We'll see, baby, she said carefully. I think that sounds like fun, Marcus said, ruffling Liam's hair. We should definitely go. Liam cheered and ran ahead again. Emma felt grateful and guilty at the same time. The next morning brought unexpected news. Emma was refilling coffee at the diner when Daniel Ellison walked in. Emma's stomach dropped. Marcus's cousin had always been kind to her, but seeing him reminded her of the family drama she'd caused. Hi, Emma, Daniel said, sliding into a booth. Can we talk? Emma glanced around the busy diner. I'm working. It'll just take a minute. Emma poured him coffee and sat across from him, her hands shaking slightly. I hear you quit the hotel, Daniel said without preamble. Word travels fast. It does in this family. Daniel studied her face. Want to tell me why? Emma looked down at her hands. I think you know why. I know my aunt can be difficult, but I also know Marcus is miserable, thinking he cost you your job. He didn't cost me anything. I made a choice. A choice based on what Patricia said to you. Emma met Daniel's eyes. You know about that? Marcus told me. He's worried about you. We all are. We. The family. Well, most of us. Patricia is complicated. Daniel leaned forward. Emma, can I tell you something about Marcus's mother? Emma nodded reluctantly. She lost her husband when Marcus was 12. Brain aneurysm. Completely sudden. Emma's breath caught. Marcus had never told her his father was dead. Patricia spent the next 20 years terrified of losing Marcus too. She's overprotective because she's scared, not because she's cruel. She called me a lost cause. She called you a threat. There's a difference. Daniel sipped his coffee thoughtfully. Look, I'm not excusing what she said. It was wrong, but I wanted you to understand where it came from. Why are you telling me this? Because Marcus loves you, and because I've never seen him as happy as he's been these past few months. You're good for him, Emma. Emma felt tears prick her eyes. I don't feel good for anyone lately. That's the grief talking, and the fear. But it's not the truth. Daniel reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope. This is for you. Emma stared at it suspiciously. What is it? Job offer. Manager position at our downtown location. Better pay, better hours, your own office. Emma's mouth fell open. I can't accept this. Why not? Because it's charity. Because Marcus asked you to create a position for his poor girlfriend. Daniel laughed. Emma, Marcus doesn't know about this, and we're not creating anything. Janet Morrison is retiring next month. We need a manager. But I don't have experience managing. You have experience dealing with difficult customers, handling multiple tasks under pressure, and staying calm in chaos. That's 90% of management. Emma stared at the envelope. Why me? Because you're smart, hardworking, and you don't take crap from anyone. Also because Janet recommended you specifically. Janet recommended me? She's eaten at this diner for 15 years. She's watched you handle everything from screaming toddlers to drunk businessmen with grace and efficiency. When I mentioned we needed a manager, she said you'd be perfect. Emma felt dizzy. A management position, better pay, a real career path. Think about it, Daniel said, standing up. Interview is Thursday if you're interested. He left the envelope on the table and walked out, leaving Emma staring after him in shock. That evening, Emma told Marcus about Daniel's visit and the job offer. They were at her apartment, and Liam was drawing at the kitchen table while they talked quietly on the couch. That's amazing, Emma, Marcus said, his face lighting up. You'd be perfect for management. You really didn't know about this? I had no idea. Daniel never mentioned it. Emma studied his face for signs of deception, but saw only genuine surprise and excitement. I'm scared, she admitted. What if I'm not good at it? What if they hired me just because of you? They hired you because you're qualified, and if you're not good at it, which you will be, you'll learn. That's what good managers do. Emma leaned against his shoulder. When did you become so confident in me? The day I met you. You just took longer to see it yourself. Emma took the interview on Thursday. Janet Morrison was a kind woman in her 60s who talked to Emma like an equal, not like she was doing her a favor. The position involves scheduling, inventory, customer relations, and staff management, Janet explained. It's challenging but rewarding. I've never managed people before, Emma admitted, but you've worked with difficult people. You know how to stay calm under pressure. The rest can be taught. They talked for an hour about everything from conflict resolution to budget management. Emma left, feeling cautiously optimistic. On Friday, Daniel called with good news. The job is yours if you want it. You start Monday. Emma felt like crying with relief and terror in equal measure. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. Thank yourself. You earned it. That weekend, Marcus took Emma and Liam to the street fair as promised. Emma used her last $20 for tickets and tried not to worry about groceries for the rest of the week. But watching Liam's joy as he rode the tiny Ferris wheel and played ring toss made every penny worth it. And watching Marcus cheer for Liam like he was his own son made Emma's heart so full it hurt. I won, Liam shouted, running over with a small stuffed bear. Marcus helped me aim better. That's all you, buddy, Marcus said, high-fiving him. I just gave you one tip. As they walked home, Liam between them holding both their hands, Emma felt something she hadn't experienced in years, hope for the future. Emma's first week as manager was overwhelming but exciting. She had her own small office, a computer, and actual authority to solve problems. The staff, mostly women around her age, treated her with respect. By Friday, Emma felt like she was getting the hang of things. She was reviewing schedules when her phone rang. Emma, this is Patricia Ellison. Emma's blood went cold. Mrs. Ellison. I was wondering if we could meet for coffee. There are things I'd like to say. Emma wanted to say no, but curiosity won. When? Emma asked. This afternoon, if you're free. Miller's Cafe on Main Street. Emma agreed before she could change her mind. Patricia was already seated when Emma arrived at the cafe. She looked elegant as always, but there was something softer about her expression. Thank you for coming, Patricia said as Emma sat down. What did you want to talk about? Patricia stirred her coffee slowly. I owe you an apology. Several, actually. Emma blinked in surprise. This wasn't what she'd expected. What I said to you at the hotel was cruel and unfair, Patricia continued. I let my fears make me say things that were wrong. Your fears? Patricia met Emma's eyes. I'm terrified of losing Marcus. His father died when he was 12. Since then, I've been overprotective to the point of being controlling. Emma remembered what Daniel had told her about Marcus's father. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Marcus doesn't talk about it much, but losing Robert nearly destroyed me. The idea of Marcus getting hurt, even emotionally, makes me panic. Patricia's voice was quiet but honest. When I saw how much he cared about you, I was afraid. Afraid you'd hurt him. Afraid the town's gossip would damage his reputation. Afraid I was losing my son to someone I didn't understand. And now? Emma asked carefully. Now I've spent 3 weeks watching Marcus be miserable because he thinks he cost you your job. Watching him worry about you constantly. Listening to him talk about Liam like he's already family. Patricia smiled sadly. A woman who was using my son wouldn't make him worry about her. She'd let him solve all her problems with money. Emma felt tears threaten. I would never hurt Marcus. I'm beginning to understand that, which is why I'm here. Patricia reached across the table and touched Emma's hand. I'd like to start over, if you're willing. I'd like to get to know the woman my son loves. Emma stared at her in shock. Really? Really. And I'd like to meet Liam properly. Marcus shows me his drawings every week. Emma laughed through her tears. He does? Every single one. He's very proud of that boy. They talked for another hour. Patricia asked about Emma's new job, Liam's school, their life together. Her questions were genuine, not judgmental. As they prepared to leave, Patricia hesitated. Emma, there's something else. The rumors about you that have been going around town. Some of them started with a former hotel manager named Lawson. Daniel did some digging. Emma's stomach dropped. What kind of rumors? Lies about you being careless with money, irresponsible with men, things designed to make you look bad. Patricia's voice was tight with anger. We're handling it. Emma felt sick. Someone had been actively spreading lies about her. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know, and because I helped spread some of those rumors by treating you the way I did. Patricia's eyes were sincere. I'm going to fix this, Emma, I promise. That evening, Emma told Marcus about her conversation with his mother. He listened with growing amazement. She actually apologized, he asked. She did, and she wants to meet Liam properly. How do you feel about that? Emma considered it. Nervous, but hopeful too. She seemed different, genuine. Marcus pulled Emma into his arms. I'm proud of you for giving her a chance. I'm proud of you for standing up to her. I meant what I said, Emma. You and Liam are my priority now. They were interrupted by Liam running into the living room with his pajamas on. Mama, Marcus, can you read to me together? Emma and Marcus looked at each other and smiled. Of course, buddy, Marcus said. What book do you want? As they settled on Liam's bed with a picture book between them, Emma felt a deep sense of peace. This felt like family. Real, chosen, imperfect, but loving family. 2 weeks later, Patricia came to dinner at Emma's apartment. She brought homemade mac and cheese and flowers for the table. Liam was shy at first, but Patricia won him over by asking detailed questions about his latest superhero drawings. This one is really good, she said, studying a picture of Spider-Man saving a cat. You're getting better at drawing hands. That's the hardest part, Liam said. Seriously. Marcus showed me how to practice. Marcus is good at art? He's good at everything, Liam said with 6-year-old certainty. Patricia smiled at Emma over Liam's head. He certainly thinks highly of Marcus. Marcus is important to us, Emma said simply. After dinner, while Liam watched cartoons, Patricia helped Emma clean dishes. He's a wonderful boy, Patricia said quietly. You've done an amazing job with him. Thank you, that means a lot. I can see why Marcus loves him so much. Liam has your kindness and your strength. Emma felt tears prick her eyes. Patricia, I was wrong about you, Emma. Wrong about what you wanted, who you are, what you mean to my son. I hope you can forgive me. We all make mistakes when we're scared, Emma said softly. I've made plenty myself. Patricia smiled. I think we're going to be just fine. Spring turned into summer, and Emma's life found a new rhythm. Her job was going well, Liam was thriving in summer day camp, and her relationship with Marcus grew stronger every day. The gossip around town had mostly died down, especially after Daniel made it clear that anyone spreading lies about Emma would be banned from all Ellison properties. On a Saturday in July, Marcus took Emma and Liam to a baseball game. Liam wore a team t-shirt Marcus had bought him and ate peanuts like a pro. "This is the best day ever," Liam declared during the seventh-inning stretch. "Even better than the park?" Marcus asked with mock seriousness. "Even better than the park," Liam confirmed, "because we're all together." Emma felt her heart squeeze. When had Liam started thinking of them as all together? When had Marcus become such a central part of his world? After the game, they walked to the car in the golden evening light. Liam was tired from excitement and sun, leaning against Marcus as they walked. "Marcus?" Liam said sleepily. "Yeah, buddy? Are you going to marry my mama?" Emma's steps faltered. Marcus stopped walking entirely. "Would you like me to?" Marcus asked carefully. Liam nodded seriously. "Yeah, because then you'd be my dad for real." Emma felt tears spill down her cheeks. Marcus knelt down to Liam's level. "I'd like that too, Liam, but that's up to your mama." Liam turned to Emma with hopeful eyes. "Mama, can Marcus be my dad?" Emma looked at her son, then at Marcus, who was watching her with love and patience and no pressure at all. "We'll see," Emma said softly, but she was smiling. "That means yes," Liam said confidently. "Mama always says, 'we'll see,' when she means yes but doesn't want to promise yet." Marcus laughed and stood up, taking Emma's hand. "Smart kid." "Very smart," Emma agreed. That night, after Liam was asleep, Emma and Marcus sat on her small balcony looking at the stars. "He's not wrong, you know," Marcus said quietly. "About what?" "About me wanting to marry you." Emma's heart stopped. "Marcus, I'm not proposing, not yet, but I want you to know that's where this is heading for me. Marriage, family, the whole thing." Emma was quiet for a long moment. 6 months ago, she couldn't have imagined this conversation. Now it felt natural. "I want that too," she said softly. "Someday, when we're both ready. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere." Emma leaned against his shoulder. "I love you. I love you too, both of you." They sat in comfortable silence, planning a future that 6 months ago had seemed impossible. 3 weeks later, Daniel threw a backyard barbecue for Marcus's birthday. It was smaller than the first family gathering Emma had attended, but warmer somehow. Everyone knew her now. She belonged here. Patricia spent most of the afternoon playing games with Liam and praising Emma's potato salad. The change in their relationship still amazed Emma. As the sun set, Emma found herself sitting on the porch steps, watching Liam play tag with Daniel's kids. Marcus appeared beside her with 2 beers. "Penny for your thoughts," he said, "just thinking about how different everything is from a year ago." "Better or worse?" Emma smiled. "So much better. Sometimes I can't believe this is my life." "Believe it. You deserve all of this and more." Emma turned to study his profile in the fading light. "Thank you." "For what?" "For choosing me. For sticking with me when it got complicated. For loving Liam like your own. Thank you for letting me." As the evening wound down, Patricia approached them on the porch. "Emma, dear, could I speak with you for a moment?" Emma nodded, curious. Patricia led her to a quiet corner of the yard. "I have something for you," Patricia said, reaching into her purse. She pulled out a small velvet box. Emma's eyes went wide. "Patricia, it's not what you think. Well, not exactly." Patricia opened the box to reveal a beautiful pearl necklace. This was my mother's, and her mother's before that. Emma stared at the necklace. "I can't accept this." "You can and you will. Because you're family now, Emma, and this is what we do in our family. We pass things down to the women who matter." Emma felt tears spill over. "Patricia, I know I got off to a terrible start with you, but I want you to know that I see who you are now. I see how much you love my son and how good you are for him. I see what a wonderful mother you are." Patricia's voice was gentle but firm. "You are worthy of love, Emma. You are worthy of beautiful things and happiness and being chosen every single day." Emma sobbed openly now. Patricia pulled her into a warm hug. "Welcome to the family, dear girl. Officially." Later that night, after Marcus had driven them home and Liam was asleep, Emma stood in her bathroom mirror wearing Patricia's necklace. It was beautiful against her skin, but more than that, it felt like belonging. Marcus appeared behind her in the mirror, wrapping his arms around her waist. "You look beautiful," he said, kissing her neck. Your mother gave this to me. It was her mother's. I know. She told me she was planning to. Emma turned in his arms. Did you know? About the family heirloom thing? Marcus smiled. Patricia doesn't give that necklace to just anyone, Emma. She's telling you that you're permanent, that she sees a future where you're officially part of our family. And how do you feel about that? Instead of answering, Marcus knelt down on one knee. Emma's hands flew to her mouth. Marcus, I know I said I wasn't ready to propose yet, Marcus said, pulling out a small box. But watching you tonight, seeing you with my family, seeing Liam call me his dad, I realized I've been ready for months. Emma stared down at him in shock. Emma Hartley, you've made me believe in love again. Real, honest, everyday love that shows up and chooses each other over and over. Will you marry me? Emma looked at this man who had defended her from the very beginning, who had chosen her when it cost him something, who loved her son like his own and made them both feel worthy of happiness. Yes, she whispered. Yes, yes, yes. Marcus slipped the ring onto her finger, a simple solitaire that caught the light perfectly. Then he stood up and kissed her like their future depended on it. When they broke apart, both were crying and laughing. I love you, Emma said against his lips. I love you too, forever. 6 months later, the backyard behind Emma and Marcus's new house was filled with twinkling lights and the sound of laughter. It was a small wedding, just family and close friends, but it was perfect. Emma wore a simple white dress and Patricia's pearl necklace. Liam walked her down the aisle in a tiny tuxedo, beaming with pride. When Marcus saw them approaching, his face lit up with such joy that half the guests started crying. Dearly beloved, the minister began, but Emma was only looking at Marcus. They'd written their own vows. Marcus went first. Emma, a year ago I thought love was something that happened in movies. Then I met you and learned it's something that happens in grocery stores and diners and tiny apartments filled with laughter. His voice was steady but emotional. You taught me that real wealth isn't measured in dollars but in moments, in Saturday morning pancakes and bedtime stories, and choosing each other every single day. Emma was crying before he finished. When it was her turn, she looked out at the small crowd, Patricia dabbing her eyes, Daniel grinning, Mrs. Calhoun beaming with pride, then back at Marcus. A year ago, I thought I knew what my life looked like, small and careful and safe. Then you showed up and made me remember that I'm brave enough for big love. She squeezed his hands. You chose me when it wasn't easy. You chose Liam when you didn't have to. You chose us every day, and I choose you right back. When they kissed as husband and wife, Liam cheered loudly, making everyone laugh. At the reception, Liam gave a toast that was mostly, I'm happy Marcus is my dad now and we're going to Disney World for our honeymoon. Patricia pulled Emma aside during the dancing. Are you happy, dear? She asked. Emma looked around the yard. Marcus was dancing with Liam, both of them laughing. Daniel was telling stories to a group of cousins. Mrs. Calhoun was eating cake and crying happy tears. I'm more than happy, Emma said. I'm home. Patricia hugged her tightly. Good. That's exactly what you deserve. As the night wound down, Emma and Marcus found themselves alone on their back porch. Liam was asleep inside, worn out from dancing and cake. Any regrets? Marcus asked, pulling Emma close. Emma looked at her ring catching the moonlight, then at the house they'd bought together, then at the man who'd changed everything. Not a single one. Good, because you're stuck with me now. Promise? Marcus kissed her forehead, then her nose, then her lips. Promise. Forever and always. Emma leaned into his embrace and smiled. She'd learned that sometimes the best things in life weren't the ones you planned for. Sometimes they were the ones brave enough to choose you back. And sometimes, if you were very lucky, they chose you every single day for the rest of your life.